or go right to conduct of business. Our first item is A, receive an oral report and review status of local emergency related to the Glenview fire area and adopt a resolution continuing the declaration of local emergency. City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. The item before you tonight is a familiar one, I'm sure, in that we have taken this action several times over the last 3 months since the September 9th explosion and fire in the Glenview neighborhood. You will recall that this declaration of local emergency allows the city to take certain limited actions, particularly the suspension of competitive bidding, in order to respond quickly and efficiently to disaster response and recovery requirements that continue to be urgent within our community. When I last spoke to you about this a couple of weeks ago, I indicated that the intent was to move fairly quickly to the opportunity to terminate the emergency. At this point, I anticipate that that will occur into the late January, February time period. We are continuing, as I've reported to you before, to want to move through at least the significant wet weather period of this wintertime season in order to assure that we have passed the most critical time period for specific physical activities that contract services might be required to address in the Glenview neighborhood, and particularly as they relate to the stabilization and repair of damage in the Crestmore Canyon at the close to the blast site. There were two items on tonight's agenda that relate that relate to our response to the Glenview situation, and have actions that have been or are being proposed to be taken under your emergency authority with the resolution in place. That is the next item where we will be asking for your authority to move forward to assist a small number of residents whose homes have recently been determined to need demolition and debris removal. And secondly, the item that I asked you earlier to remove from the consent calendar is another example of the type of item that, or the type of action that the city has taken and will continue to be mindful of. This one relates to private security services to facilitate the protection of both the damaged infrastructure area within the Glenview neighborhood, as well as previously the neighborhood and the vacant properties themselves. So at this point, I'm asking your action tonight to continue by adoption of the resolution in front of you, to continue the declaration of local emergency pending a subsequent action to be presented to you in the first quarter of next year to specifically terminate the emergency. Until and unless you take that action, we will be returning to you at least at minimum 30-day intervals as required by state law in order to keep this resolution and the declaration of local emergency in effect.
Any questions of the City Manager? Any action?
I'll adopt the resolution. Introduce the resolution.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Salazar.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.